So we have two students who both start training Jiu-Jitsu on the exact same day, same academy, same instructor, same techniques, but somehow one student learns and improves at a little faster rate than the other.
Or a much faster rate.
Yes.
Possible.
How is that possible? They're learning the same techniques.
Eating the same food.
Everything's the same.
How is that possible? Same size, same strength, same previous experience, which is nothing, let's say. How do they grow at such a different rate? Any thoughts, you guys? The mindset. One of the students has adopted the right training mindset, the right learning mindset, the right philosophy. And it makes all the difference in the world. It's so incredible. It literally changes it. Like, for example, the path, just the simplest example, is from white to black belt can take
15 years,
20 years, or 7 years, 8 years, 10 years.
The example for me was that when I was a brown belt, my grandfather said 2 sentences. He said, Hiro, this, that, that. And those 2 sentences took me from a brown belt to a black belt in 3 weeks. Now, I didn't get my black belt in 3 weeks, but I literally jumped to where I was.
Your effectiveness went through the roof.
It's crazy.
Wow. Are you going to tell us those 2 sentences?
No.
That's
not what matters right now.
He will.
I'll tell you eventually, yes.
Of course. Wow. So for Hiro, it was those 2 sentences from our grandfather at that certain point in his career that affected him deeply to cause that growth. For you guys, depending where you are in your careers, it might be something completely different. So we're going to give you all the Gracie philosophies, right? In order that we think is most logical. And it's your job to absorb them and hopefully let them penetrate, because, you know, you can hear us. The question is, do you really let it affect how you train, how you think, you know, during your training going forward? And if so, it'll have a huge difference. The first thing we need to talk about is we need to discuss what is considered by many to be the best thing about Gracie University, the Gracie Academy curriculum, and the way we teach. What's the best thing? What would you guys say? Number one.
They think the details. They think the attention. They think
That's what most people say. Attention to detail. We break it down pretty deep. Sometimes a little too deep, but it's all good. Okay, we'd rather give you a little more detail than a little less.
Basically, we say everything that we know.
Yeah.
We don't hold back at all. And we're very in tune to what we're doing, so therefore we can explain every little movement.
Correct.
As instructors, we know.
And we're passionate. We really want you guys to understand what's going on. Like, we don't want you to watch something and say, wow, why did that do this? Or why did they do that? Or how did it work? And of course, we got that from our father. We don't take ownership or claim for any of these teaching abilities or detailed methods of presentation, because that's what our dad did. And of course, that's what our grandfather did as well. And it comes from the passion to help, the desire to help, and it's very sincere. Now, even though the details are the best thing about our teaching and our curriculum,
they're also the worst thing about Gracie University.
How is that possible?
The Gracie Academy.
How are the details the worst thing about what we have going here? Any thoughts?
You must know.
You guys, I want you guys to think about this. The details are so intensive, there's so much information packed in, that we believe, that you believe, we are giving you 100% of what you need to know to master the art. Do you think that? I think they think that.
Well, they don't think it anymore.
I mean, it just makes sense. Now, and the reason I'm saying that is because we have so many students here at the Academy that we can tell, and they have told us, have that feeling. The feeling that, wow, it's so detailed that there's not even enough space for me to think. Just take it and run. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you guys are giving it all to me. And you're thinking, well, how is that the worst thing? And the answer is because we can assure you that even though we're giving as much detail as we possibly can, we are only giving you half of what you need to make it to the top, or to make it to black belt, to make it to Jiu-Jitsu mastery. We're only giving you half. How do we know that? How do we know we're only giving you half? Well, put it this way. Let's say I learn a triangle choke, right? A setup, a triangle choke setup. If I get in a fight against 10 different people, I have little doubt that that triangle setup technique will be employed, will be used 10 different ways against those 10 people. I learn it one way, but I'll use 10 different kind of tweaks and variations of that technique in 10 different fights against 10 different people of 10 different shapes. So what this tells you is you learn a certain amount, but the rest is up to you, how you modify and adapt that technique or that jiu-jitsu to your own circumstances and needs, body types, and depending on your opponent, situations. How you modify that is up to you. So that's really, it's a very important thing to understand, is that we're going to give you half. So as you watch each lesson and you learn this stuff with the mindset that we're only giving you half, you will grow much more effectively than if you watch and think, okay, he's giving me this triangle. Thank you very much. That's all I need. And then you go to try to use that in a fight, right? Or against a training partner, and things don't go down exactly according to plan. You don't panic and give up. You realize that it needs to be modified. It needs to be adapted. Our grandfather did it to the Japanese techniques to accommodate his frail physique. And now we're asking you to do the same for your own techniques. We're going to share them with you to the best of our ability. We're going to share the most universal versions of the techniques. But you still need to adapt and modify for yourself.